Spawning here in the bottom right corner, we have Zhanhun.
And on the bottom left corner of the reds, there is Fengzi. So, PVZ, Radion. Maybe this time we'll see some mutas. I think in the all PVZs that we saw today, there was only one. Hulk versus Bonyth, where Hulk was doing actually any mutas. So, really looking forward to it. I'm wondering what is the meta in China for PVZ. Is there maybe they have something interesting up their sleeves?
Yeah, I'm curious too. That's kind of what I was saying. The clash of the Chinese styles here, PVZ, it could be a little bit unique, so we'll keep an eye on. It does look like it's going to be a gate expand here from Zhanhun, so we're going to look for that early Zealot pressure, and we're going to get the overpull from Fengzi.
And Fengzi will be able to scout his opponent in the first possible position, so that's always a good thing for the Zerg player.
Yeah. And it means you don't have to send that drone scout either, which feels pretty nice for Zerg. Gonna tuck that drone behind the mineral line. This is pretty typical as well, right? In case you get scouted early.
Smartly, Fengzi didn't move his Overlord to a position where his opponent would see it. So now Zhanhun needs to scout each and every location, and he will find his opponent only at the last one.
I'm surprised where this drone seems a little bit early, no? Seems like we're sending out quite early. I guess it's not that big of a deal, but just a small thing.
I'm surprised that he was trying to fight those Zerglings. But still.
I'm surprised he sent the Zealot straight across, but yeah, we got the Ling counterattack gonna actually jump on top of those Nexus. How many did he cut? Is he only making... Yeah, he just made the one Zealot, I guess, to get this Nexus down quicker, but the Zealot gonna go down pretty much right away because we were focused on these Lings in our base. And this is kind of a little bit annoying for Zhanhun, because now, because he did send that Zealot straight across against the overpull and they just kind of passed each other, now he's got all 4 Lings in his base, wasn't able to block the ramp.
In this kind of situations, it's quite often that Zergs will just flood you with Zerglings. So it's a very risky situation that Zhanhun is in.
Yeah, and he does have to worry about it. He sees additional Lings coming across. He doesn't know how many, and that's why he's doing this with the probe, right? He's trying to get behind the Lings so he can go across the map and be like, hey, are you making more Lings, or is it just this?
Okay, nice pull. I think that Fengzi didn't kill any probe.
Yeah.
No. Saying that,
you did this. You're the reason that probe is dead right now. But yeah, so far it's been a pretty good defense from Zhanhun. Getting 4 Lings in your bases early and taking only 1 probe damage so far is pretty nice. And even threatening the counterattack, actually. I don't know if Fengzi saw this coming. Okay, yeah, more Lings are coming up. But this does allow Zhanhun to clean things up nicely at home, so the multitask a little bit too hard for Fengzi here. Even to lose a drone, actually, that's pretty painful considering how many Lings we've made. Almost loses a 2nd drone. And Fengzi's economy is not looking great. He's made a ton of Lings, even lost 1 drone, and he's only killed a handful of Zealots so far. So far this early game pressure for Zhanhun going really, really low. Got their Zealot here into the 3rd, gonna force the drone pool. And behind this, I
That's
mean, you start seeing it in the
almost
worker
there.
too. Yeah, okay, and Link speed finishes. So he's going to clean these zealots up really nice. So this is a really nice moment for Fengzi. He's actually made a lot more Lings. But he's droning up behind us. So with these zealots being cleaned up, we need to get a probe. Okay, I was going to say, he's getting a little bit worried for him there. Playing with fire a little bit, actually, is Zhanhun. And because of that, the speedlings are going to get inside. They're going to try and jump on top of this cannon, but looks like our Zealot and Probe just barely gonna... Okay, it does barely go down, but he's gonna have to restart that cannon right away. And... Okay, we are just gonna drone behind this, but the lair is done. And what is our Stargate timing for Zhanhun behind this? Okay, it's not quite ready yet, about a little over 2/3.
A little bit delayed, but still should be manageable.
Yep. Alright, well, definitely very aggressive, which kind of, you know, fits the theme of what we've seen out of the Chinese players so far, right? Lots of Zealots, lots of Lings looking for counterattacks while fighting the Zealots, so both players just throwing punches at each other from the very good go.
Fengzi pretty decently droned up. He's at 27 now. Especially that, like, a moment ago it was 15, so
yeah,
not bad.
Yeah, that's kind of the nice thing about when Zerg does finally clean up those Zealots. If they get to clean up the Zealots and have a lot of Lings left over, they can just drone like crazy behind it.
That idle drone. Okay.
Yeah, I wonder if this is intentional or not, the way he waited for the Corsair to go past. I think it was just an accident. And I think the Corsair flying in reminded him.
Yeah. I think that you're right. Oh my... Now this might trigger.
Yeah, he's got a decent gas bank right now. And we're even going to get another Ling counterattack here. Going to jump on top of the cannon and kill this cannon again. Run into the main base. There's no cannon done yet. It's about halfway done, so we're going to see the Lings target that down. And yeah, we see the gas from Fengzi evaporate. He is 100% going into Mutas and Scourge now.
Yeah, losing your initial Corsair, like, in 80% of the situation means, okay, there will be Mutas.
Zhanhun's in trouble.
Yeah.
There's no cannon in the mineral line right now, and he keeps getting cannon after cannon denied here. The Mutas have patched out now, but they actually have to stay home, so this is kind of a nice counterattack moment for Zhanhun to buy him time so these Mutas are not flying across the map. But it looks like it's only 2 Mutas, actually. I'd probably queued up a bunch more. Oh, sorry, it looks like we have Mutas on the other side. Does kill another Corsair. Zhanhun, I think, distracted and not realizing these Corsair on the other side of the map here, so looks like we're going to lose another one. And Ring Shot going to pick that one off. This other one is at least going to get away.
The question is, are there any cannons in the mineral line?
Yeah, I'd imagine he's got them up by now. Surely, right? Surely he does. Man, despite how this is going, Zhanhun is still constantly finding drone kills, actually. I think he even shot his own hatchery out of frustration there. And, you know, looks like he does have his defense back up. He's having to remake more Corsair. I mean, he's lost like 4 already, too. And this hurts because if you're making a bunch of Corsair now, it means you're going to have a lot less Templar than you would normally have.
Yeah, exactly. And the challenging thing is that when you lose those Corsairs, you can't move out for at least a minute or two, unless you have 4, 5, or 6 Corsairs, right? And you still don't know if your opponent switched to, for example, Hydras.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of a tough moment for exactly what you're saying, right? Because if you wait for your 6 air, which you have to, right? You can't move out before 6 air, and you don't know if if they're going to Hydras, or if you're about to run into a ton of +1 armor like Muta Scourge bombs, right? Like, there's no way of knowing anymore. The only information he got so far, I guess, was that he saw that there wasn't a third gas for Fengzi.
Oh, and now he sees the Hydra. Okay.
Does at least have
there storm already?
Storm. Oh, it's not ready. Gonna deny this +1 armor. And see if Fengzi wants to pull the trigger. He doesn't know about the storm timing, so it's kind of scary. You know, it's like tempting when you're like, hey, he's not storming, he might not have storm, and then you walk in and then he does have storm and you lose everything. But is going to go for it and does eat a couple big storms, but that's the only 2 storms that he had. And there's only 2 cannons. I thought this other one was about to go down, but there's only 2 cannons here. No zealots. And the cannons are just now finishing as the Hydras are breaking through. More zealots coming out. I mean, Zhanhun might barely hold, but it looks like we got a lot more units coming across the map on the other side of it.
The Forge is yet not ready, so he can't replace the cult, the destroyed cannons. Just now started to build his 1 second additional cannon, but the Mutas and the Hydra, it might be very difficult for Zhanhun to defend. Very nice target fire by Zhanhun.
Yeah. It looks like he might just barely stabilize, but we see a ton of Hydras being made by Fengzi. There's no storms left, but it's a lot of zealots. But they don't have that +1 armor anymore, so you know, they didn't quite get that +1 armor, so they're pretty squishy with the +1 attack done for these these Hydras.
But that is a ton of Zealot. Nice micro by Fengzi. And new Hydras are coming in. This might have been a mistake.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think this was a mistake. If Fengzi pulls the trigger right now, there's no High Templar out yet, and he is going to poke in here and pull the trigger. There's just the 3 cannons with these zealots, but a lot of Hydra, like you said.
But somehow it looks somehow not that bad.
It's closer than I thought it would be, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to decide, does it look okay or it's terrible? And it looks terrible now.
Yeah. He almost held on with Macro alone on the Zealots here, but Fengzi is going to break through this position. Bunch of probes go down, Nexus is going to go down. We're going to be on just barely 1 base mounting. I mean, Zhanhun's almost dried up now, so it looks like game 1 is going to go to Fengzi. 35 drones. He never stopped pressuring. And, man, this was a lot of fighting. From the very beginning, they never stopped fighting.
Nice execution. Okay.
And now we're just waiting for Zhanhun to accept that the game is over.
How the classic goes, say GG.
Right. This is one of those moments where when you're Fengzi, you're like, are we serious? Like, yeah. Are we gonna? I guess we scout for a hidden base now. Is that what he's gonna make him do? Yeah, he's checking the 3rd base location because he's like, why are you still here? I don't understand. And there we go. Zhanhun just needed to think about it for a second, and GG is called.
Okay, so quite nice. Looking forward to the second aggressive ProLeague game. Really nice. I think the last move out with those zealots were a little bit of a mistake. With those additional zealots, he would probably make it. He had a ton of gateways at that point, I think 6 or 7. So he just had to have a little bit of more time where the macro kicked in. But still, nice.
Yeah,
those run-bys were amazing.
Yeah, from Fengzi, yeah, they were really good. Yeah, very, very good aggression from Fengzi to counter the gate. expand. But let's go ahead and jump into the next game. Let's keep the ball rolling, as I was saying. So we're going to jump into game 2 here of Fengzi versus Zhanhun. All right, spawning here in the top right on Metropolis, we have our Zerg player Fengzi.
And bottom right, we've got our blue Protoss, Zhanhun. 1-0, Fengzi.
1-0.
And Fengzi is a really old school player. I like seeing those old school players coming back and just kicking ass. that's always like okay, I respect that. On the other hand, like who isn't an old school player nowadays? Like
it's so true, man.
Majority of us are playing the game since like 20 or 25 years. So everyone qualifies to that name.
It's actually true. Yeah. Yeah, the only ones that aren't old school players are the ones that don't play anymore.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a shame that there are so few new players, but you know it's a difficult game. So,
yep, I would argue, and I think most people would agree, that StarCraft is the most difficult game ever made. So it's pretty hard, especially for the newer young generation, where all their games are easy and everything's handed to them. They don't want to work hard for a game like StarCraft.
Yeah, you know, I like also sometimes from time to time I open those kind of remember those Pimpest plays or old VOD from WCB.
Right.
And I'm looking at games that are of top players from 15 years back, and I'm looking at that, and this is B level now.
Right.
And back in the day, it was like the best of the best, top of the top. That only shows how much the game has evolved. Okay.
And Zhanhun being really annoying, timing canceling that pylon perfectly as well.
Yeah, nice delay.
Yeah, it's definitely a pain when you go overpull and you get first scouted like this. Can be, you know, getting that delay on the hatchery is good enough for Zhanhun. He's happy with that, so. Just going to sit back defensively with the Zealots for now, because he did notice the overpull opener because of the hatchery timing. So going to drop his Nexus here. We're going to see the typical, you know, send a Zealot or two back onto the ramp with your probe here to hold the ramp while your other Zealots out here fighting the Lings.
The probe is still alive, so we'll manage to scout. That's always a good thing. Oh my God.
Yeah, Fengzi went for the 6 Lings here instead of the usual 4, right? So he's actually going to get inside with all 6 as well. Although one gets picked off immediately and the other ones are very low, so not sure how much harass he can do. We see that pylon on the back side of the mineral line, but yeah,
I think it doesn't help.
Yeah, I think it's
not link tight.
Yeah,
you can move there. Yeah.
As I was gonna say, it's actually more of a problem for Protoss than Zerg when you put that down. I used to do that too, and I had to get out of that habit because it screwed me so many times.
I just wanted to say, made that mistake a couple of times. Look, no, oh my God.
Is it?
Look like. No,
yeah, I don't know.
It can't
I don't
be.
think it is.
It can be. It can be.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I mean, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Now I'm questioning myself, because if Fengzi doesn't know it, am I wrong? Because like I was pretty confident, but
I know what I will do tomorrow. I will check that out.
yeah, I'll probably load it up between games or something here in a second. To be honest with you, it's gonna be eaten at me if I don't.
No, I've got the StarCraft open on my second screen, so.
Alright, Fengzi getting here with these Lings. Gonna kill a few probes, actually. These doing more than the 6 that got in earlier. And we actually see that Zhanhun does not have the big probe lead that he normally has, but there's 4 Zealots in Fengzi's base right now and not enough Lings to fight this. And actually taking a few hits for free here. This is pretty rough for Fengzi now. These 4 Zealots are scary, man. He's gonna have to get a good link count before he can do this, but link speed is just about to finish right as Zhanhun positions to be behind the minerals, but actually doesn't go for it. He goes down a little bit, so...
I'm surprised with that.
Yeah. I thought for sure he would tuck these, but he's gonna win that fight actually, which is crazy. Gets away with one zealot that I think has like no HP left. Almost loses the Overlord to a cannon. But yeah, more of the same, man. A bunch of aggression. Fengzi just keeps making lings, man. You don't get to go get expand and live comfortably. Fengzi won't let you.
But look at the tech tree, right? So I think that the Cybercore is already ready, and there's not even layer or den going down.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be Hydras at this point. There's no way we can go into layer tech, so we're definitely gonna get some Hydra aggression. Going up to 5 hatch before dropping any tech. So Fengzi just droning like crazy. I mean, he's up to 22. Sorry, I thought it was at 32 for a second. And there he spots the Stargate, and Hydroden is on the way now. More lings for Fengzi.
Links, and then hatches, so we'll see what kind of Hydra play.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's going to go for a buzz. It is 5 hatch so far, so it could be that kind of really strong mid-game aggression. I think that for me, 5 hatch is like really scary to play against because you have to respect it and build a decent number of cannons, but it doesn't feel good making a bunch of cannons when they're on 5 hatcheries, you know? But it's not like a 6 hatch Hydra, it's much more aggressive.
Okay, so now Zhanhun knows what's happening.
Yeah, it's nice to get confirmation that there's no lair, no mews or anything like that. And we kind of want to see what's hatching out of these eggs. But it is going to be Hydra. I mean, this could be a very, very aggressive Hydra build coming out from Fengzi. If he keeps pumping Hydras, this is getting past the point of defensive Hydras. This is definitely aggressive Hydras. And Zhanhun coming out on the map actually could be a little bit scary for Zhanhun. And yeah, he sees the Hydras and he's going to turn back around. Leg speed not going to be done in time, so these Lings going to try and body block and delay it a little bit, which is going to allow two of these Zealots actually going to get picked off, which is really nice. And what is our cannon count at home? Because if it's not much more than 2, then it starts getting a little bit scary. Okay, he does have 3 and he's starting to add the extra cannons now. And I think he's going to be able to get those up in time. But this is what I meant. That 5 hatch Hydra build can be a little bit deceiving. It looks like it's a macro build, but it's actually pretty aggressive. And you have to respect it. You have to make those cannons.
Now Zhanhun sees what's happening. Yeah, so he should add a bunch of cannons. Otherwise, it can be very, very, very difficult.
Yeah, gonna jump forward and kill one of these cannons right away. And it's gonna allow him to pick off this wall. Did we cancel the upgrade or did it finish? Okay, it looks like it was a cancel because I'm pretty sure it was armor at this point. So, wall gonna go down. We are still pumping Hydras. We're still on 32 drones, so we are planning on getting very aggressive here. He's gonna go for the bust. Or he might turn it into a contain, actually. We do have the lair on the way in the 3rd gas, so he might just be going for lurker contain. Yeah, there's a bunch of drones now. I imagine we're getting lurker tech. Oh no,
still
sorry, we
no
don't have the
layer.
layer yet. Yeah. Don't mind me. I've only been playing StarCraft for 25 years. You know, I forgot you need a layer before lurker.
That's a silly detail. That is a lot of Zealot.
That is a lot of zealots. Considering he lost a bunch too, right? This Zhanhun's kind of crazy with his zealot production. But we are also at the +1 Hydra versus the 0 armor zealots, so they are pretty squishy. Oh, we're getting air attacks now? That's interesting. I don't understand.
Isn't that a mistake? No.
It has to be a mistake, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe it's cheap enough and yeah, actually I don't know, because there's no way you go into
No.
yeah.
It can be.
Like I was gonna try to justify it, but I got nothing.
I've got the same feeling. Like there needs to be a reasonable, justifiable purpose for the +1, but no.
Well, we are going back into Corsair, so I guess it is intentional. I guess he's just trying to anticipate the meta swap, but I don't know that a meta swap's coming. I don't think it is. That's interesting, because normally you see the Dark Archon in this situation, right? But maybe Zhanhun, just not a fan of the Dark Archon, decides he's going to blindly go for the Saragon, but this is actually pretty painful, losing all of these zealots and losing that map control. He has a ton more zealots behind this. Dude, Zhanhun does not make goons, by the way. This man loves his zealots. He plays this very, very differently than what the rest of us play. Yeah. And when you see all these lurkers finishing, all you have is zealots, but he's actually going to run straight in before these lurkers finish. They finish just in time, and Zhanhun now not entirely sure which way he wants to go. We're going to see some body block from the Hydras. Going to see those burrow lurkers come down. Now there is no sunken for Fengzi, but he has enough Hydras that if he respawns, shouldn't take too much damage here. Oh, you know, lurker here denying this.
Oh, very cute.
Oh, I love
trap.
the lurker eggs. Yeah, to trap the zealots inside. That's nice. Yeah, does he have a robo? Okay, he does have it. Okay. Observatory just now started though, so we're getting to the point too where it starts getting kind of scary for Zhanhun because we're at post 13 minutes and he hasn't been able to expand yet.
And remember that he was still doing his +1 upgrade to air instead of gun range, so he will be, even if he will start in production, those will be without range guns. That's crazy.
Dude, Zhanhun is insane with these zealots. He makes so many, and he just keeps attacking over and over again. But Fengzi with an overwhelming Hydra count gonna be able to crush this, and I think from here he transitions down. Well, it's interesting because Zhanhun, he's doing this because he doesn't want to get contained, right? And by running around these zealots constantly, Fengzi can't set up in front of his base like he wants to. And behind that, we finally see the goons. We see the storm finishing up. Fengzi trying to get down here with his lurkers to try and get us contained. But I actually don't think contain's even that strong on this map because you don't have a lot of space behind you before you kind of start hitting the walls, you know? But
he has ops, but he doesn't have range.
True, we're breaking this with a range, and he's wow, it's not even close. That's pretty painful. Look at all these rangeless goons from Zhanhun.
On the other hand, Fengzi doesn't have Overlord speed, so any kind of drop, Backstab, Dark Templar can be very, very powerful.
Fengzi gonna try and push forward here. with his
Nice
lurkers.
storm.
Yeah, great storms. I think Fengzi a little bit distracted actually with those Corsairs, and he's taking a really, really bad trade here because of that. But still gonna get into the position. I mean, these goons not having range. I don't know if you guys know, goons without range, they're not really a real unit. It's they're pretty terrible.
Even with range, they're not that good of a unit. Okay, I checked in the meantime the pylon and link stuff. On the right side, they are not able to move between the map and the pylon, the Zerglings.
Okay,
on the left side, they can.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Good information to have.
But the game, going back to the game doesn't look good for our Protoss player.
Yeah, his only hope really was kind of the 6 o'clock base, but it did get found out and canceled. His main base is mined up, his natural's going to be drying up relatively soon. He does finally have goon range at least to be chipping away at these lurkers. Every storm kills one more of his own observers, and he's about to run out of observers.
But it's nice that he has plus 50 energy to his High Templars. It's always nice to have, but still doesn't look that good for our Protoss player. Zhanhun is like maybe not contained, but he doesn't have the unit to push through it. And the loss of those High Templars might be the decisive factor. Yeah, and we see a GG.
GG. Fengzi taking a 2-0 over Zhanhun. That is really impressive.